oh man, it must be established and it's too late. Well, Goldman Sachs Research released a study that said that the creator economy is going to double by 2027. And what that means is the TAM, the total addressable market for the creator economy, is $250 billion roughly right now. And it's going to be a $500 billion industry in the next 3 years. Now, the business owners listening to this, entrepreneurs, you're not even calculated in that. You got a whole business. You should leverage YouTube for leads into a business that they're not calculating. But what's fascinating for everybody listening to this is the ability for you to maybe create extra income streams or start building a personal brand in addition to creating lead flow for your business. Why is Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone and Layla Hermosi and Noah Kagan and Alex Hermosi investing so heavily in content? Why, when they have other businesses and other things to do? I think it's because they understand that personal brand is the most valuable asset you can possibly have. Kevin O'Leary, the Sharks, all of these different personal brand. And by building out in content, the wave of the creator economy itself, you tapping into being a creator, publishing content. Basically, the next 3 years are going to be the best 3 years in the creator economy. And Mr. Beast himself, the biggest independent YouTuber, also mentioned that YouTube's algorithm is one of the most generous algorithms as we speak. That new creators are being suggested on people's homepages and getting a shot in people's suggested feeds. That if you start a brand new channel right now and you make the right video around the right topics with the right content, you can grow from scratch right now in 2024. So I think that when you think, oh, the platform has aged out or whatever, or it's just already saturated, saturation is actually impossible by the dictionary definition if it's still increasing. If the total addressable market's increasing, if consumption of content is increasing, which it is, if more users are appearing there, which they are, and if these users are more individual and unique, speaking to you finding your niche and your 1,000 true fans, it's not saturated. It's not too late. And the next 3 years are actually going to be double of what's happened in the last 17. So we're actually in a crazy strategic time for YouTube. And so I think that's actually data-backed good news for business owners listening to this right now for really tapping into the power and the wave that's happening.
Oh my God, you're getting me so excited because I feel it too. I feel like YouTube is just not primed for disruption, but it doesn't seem as competitive as I once thought it was. I just see this opportunity where I can kind of stand out, have in-person interviews, just understand the platform a little bit better. So it's really good news that you're saying that we can all still grow on YouTube. And I know for myself, when I started podcasting 6 years ago, everyone told me that it's too late. Look at me now. I'm top of the charts podcast princess. So it's never too late to start on your dreams. So if somebody is looking to start a YouTube channel and, they're an entrepreneur, which is most of my listeners, and they've got to ask themselves some key questions, even before they start creating videos. What are the key questions and considerations people should think through before they actually start a YouTube channel for their business?
Yeah, I think number one is, why do you want to start a YouTube channel? And that answer to that might not be super obvious. It's a general good problem or a good question to ask is, what are we solving for? We're solving for X. Do we need more revenue? Are we using it as lead gen? Are we using it? And we could get into some granular questions. What is the potential of YouTube for my particular business? Is there a good alignment there? And then also, how much time do I have to invest and what am I trying to achieve? Another interesting question is to say, do you have any desire to create content that you're in yourself, or how committed do you think you could be to creating content? Because sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. I think we've seen brands. This is an interesting opportunity where you could hire talent. It happens. Moment Lenses did it. To this day, Kensington Memory has Tertia Hirschberger, who's a solo influencer that also is talent hired for the channel. So at the early stage, do you want to build your personal brand? Do you want to have your own show? Are you interested in creating content? Who are 5 to 10 YouTube channels that you maybe watch and inspire you? And would you like to have a YouTube channel like theirs? If you haven't spent some time on YouTube, I would encourage that to be a first step. Do some reconnaissance and research to see what else is out there in your niche. Because if you would say, and then, do you want to build your business, leads and clients, or do you want to build your next business, AKA maybe your personal brand, because what you've already accomplished and built, you're thinking about speaking, writing, getting your name out there, getting your intellectual property, your frameworks, your processes, your teachings captured so you can make an impact and a difference in people's lives, as well as get booked to speak and invited places. And I could get granular on case studies and use cases for how you could use YouTube for all kinds of different niches. A friend of mine just acquired a real estate education business, and then he bought a YouTube channel, which was owned by an exam YouTube channel, 35,000 subscribers. So he could start putting these real estate exams and lead gen over to his real estate education business. He won't be in videos. He can outsource these. They could be AI. They could be voice. So I would say that YouTube is an asset no matter what we're talking about. And there's a way to do it, whether you're on camera, whether it's faceless, whether it's another talent. But these self-awareness questions are some really good foundational questions. And usually the people who come to our event and watch our stuff, a lot of times say, okay, I want to create content. I want to create a video podcast. I want to be a talking head on video. I maybe want to teach or do cooking. We get into the creator side, DIY or cooking, or we have auto repair shops, all kinds of business owners too that use it. But where a lot of times clicks best is even thinking through, do you see yourself as a personality and do you want to put yourself out there? So a auto repair and modification shop, the owner has got a big YouTube channel, part of our podcast community, but he's discovered that he loves it. Now, listening to this, you're not going to know if you could discover that yet. And I would encourage you you probably don't love it yet. And you probably are intimidated a little and you're probably a little bit nervous to get on camera. But I would challenge you. One of the best experiments you could ever do is start before you're ready, start messy, make 50 to 100 videos. That might sound like a lot, but the reason, because it's going to transform you. I promise you, it will improve your life. It'll just make you a better communicator. It'll help you grow. But what you might uncover is I love this and I'm actually good at this. And it would be the wrong signal to think that day one, I'm not good on this. This must not be for that. No, we're all terrible day one. So sometimes it's an uncovering and a peeling away the layers of the onion, if you will, to kind of discover that. But I would pause somebody that goes, no, under no circumstances. If you're the business owner that is looking for being hidden, creating a self-managing company that runs on itself, that doesn't require, energy or consistent, content creation from you, then count the cost of building the tower before you start building. Those that succeed most on YouTube get through that uncomfortable point, but actually discover that I actually enjoy creating content, and I'm committed not to content creation as a one-time event, but as a ongoing routine and habit in my life. And the reason for that also, or what reasons to maybe get clear on that, is if you start getting to a place, if you're at a place right now where you're I would love to have more money, more leads and clients, but I also want more impact. I also just want, I have something to say and I want others to hear that. I have something I could teach and I want others to learn. Sometimes it's history and legacy. I want to build an archive of my knowledge. And sometimes it's, when I think history and legacy, this might sound kind of morbid, but I actually have a lot of peace if I was to die this week. One, because of my faith, and two, I would be devastated that I'm leaving my 3-year-old boy and 1-year-old boy, Sean and John, behind. But I would have a lot of peace and confidence because there are so many videos that they could get to know their dad from watching. The content I've already put on the internet, I believe they would learn my principles, my values. They would learn things that I would want to instill in them. And my hope would be that they would care to watch that content. But man, if I look back and imagine, I think about my grandfather who was in the Army Air Corps, fought in World War II, and I got to spend some time with him. But man, if I had some videos to watch right now to just learn, I would love to see those. So I think when you start thinking about, man, if we're thinking about legacy, we're thinking about history, we're thinking about your values, principles, ideas, frameworks put online, how your network could grow, how it could lead to income, how it could lead to connections, how you could grow your personal brand. There's so many benefits. And then that becomes kind of the foundation of saying, okay, this is why I'm going to invest in this. Because what I do promise you is it will take at least some energy and it will take some money. And it's just like starting a business in general. Of course, you could just use your smartphone and a few accessories, or not. Literally just your smartphone is all you need. YouTube Shorts, you could get started. But look at your setup. Look at your studio. Look at your microphone. Look at your lighting. You're a master. You've treated this not as an amateur would. You've treated it as a professional would. And so if you don't have to have that level of commitment day one, but if you look down the road and think about what could this be, if you want to have world-class results, you want to approach it with a world-class mindset. And I think if you install some of those foundations and you go, okay, I'm now willing to start to invest in this when there's only 7 views and then only 70, but I'm committed to this over the long haul. And those reasons of why do you want to start a YouTube channel are fueling you, because we overestimate how much we might accomplish on YouTube in 1 year, but we underestimate where we could be in 5 years. And imagine if your favorite video podcaster, if you were there in 5 years. The accolades, the invites, the awards, the money, the passive income, the ease of conversion and sales, the ease of getting a book deal from talking to a publisher, because you've built a platform. If you enjoyed this podcast and are ready for some deep dive YouTube strategy, just go to thinkmasterclass.com to get access to my 1-hour on-demand YouTube strategy class. You'll be looking over my shoulder as I share my best tips, and you can watch it on demand right now at thinkmasterclass.com.